Hello, I'm just here to talk about my video, my dialogue for Clemson Connect. My dialogue was heterosexism in a not so heterosexist world. I think that was the title. But anyway, to answer some of the questions, I thought our group really did a great job of talking about having good dialogue. There wasn't a lot of violence. There wasn't a lot of anger discussions. A lot of good dialogue, and we really got deep into the issue. Our mediators did a nice job keeping the conversation going. I thought it was definitely an interesting conversation, and there was definitely dialogue. It wasn't yelling, wasn't fighting. Really a good experience for everyone, I think. There was definitely some more active voices, obviously. I would say that there was a lot of people there, obviously, who were speaking in favor of homosexuality and how wrong homosexuals are treated in our world. And there was also some very crazy comments made, but it was good to see both sides. And then there was reserved voices too, and there was people I felt like who maybe didn't agree with what the majority was saying, but kind of felt as if it was hard for them to say that the other people were wrong or that they didn't agree, because it would have created arguments, and they weren't really willing to do that. And then in our group, I think I provided more of a somewhere in the middle. I was a little bit opposite of what everyone else believed, but at the same time, I kind of was with them in some senses. But I think I actually spoke out a little bit and got everyone to start speaking. I think I helped with that. That was kind of my role, was to help the other side start talking and create more of an even dialogue. But at the same time, everyone understood the same idea. And I think the main thing that everyone should have got from it, and I know I certainly did, and I believe this going into it, is that whether your faith or your thoughts or whatever lifestyle you lead believes that homosexuality is or is not okay, or you do or do not agree with it, whatever it might be, that the main thing is that everyone should be treated as a human, so that no matter no matter what no matter what happens, no matter what somebody believes in or does or what sex they like, they're still human beings. And that was the big thing, was that you should treat everyone like a human. I mean, just because you might not agree with one part of their life doesn't mean that you have the right to make fun of them or put them down or flat out abuse them. It's not okay. And I think that was the main thing we were coming upon, is that it's not okay to cast somebody out of society, whether you think that one part of their life is okay or not. I mean, it's not acceptable behavior, even if you are somebody who doesn't think that sexual acts are okay. You still shouldn't treat them as if they're out to harm everyone because they're doing something you might not agree with. Also, I thought an interesting point was the idea of whether or not people are born as homosexuals. And there was people there who had aunts and uncles and cousins, and there was a kid who was a homosexual there, and they were just saying that, I mean, they knew people who, ever since they were little kids, they were doing things as if they were the opposite sex, and just as if it was like they were born that way. And then at the same time, there's people out there who don't show signs of homosexuality, and maybe they do choose to be like that. So an interesting thing that I actually think I brought it up, but maybe some people are born that way and others choose to be homosexual. Because if you think about it, a homosexual is never going to say that they chose to be homosexual, because then that would defeat a lot of their argument. But at the same time, I think it's definitely possible that some people choose to be homosexual and others are born to be homosexual. So either way, it was just something interesting that we stumbled upon, that we thought was definitely a possibility, and it was something we all agreed upon that was an opportunity. Um, I think, kind of in conclusion, I think it's important. I think it's part of Library 100 dialogue because it's important to see the views of your classmates and other people around you and understand that even though you might not believe the same thing, it's okay and that you can work through it and you can talk about it. And I think it's definitely helpful. I think it was definitely useful in the experience. I know I was very interested to see the different perspectives, and I find myself somewhere in the middle. But to see the people that were for one way and people for the other way, definitely broadens your perspective. And yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was a good experience, and I'm glad that I went to the heterosexism one because it was just something different, and definitely something that could provoke arguments. But at the same time, I saw a lot of civility, and nobody really getting mad at each other. So that was a very good sign. Good conversation, learning to just work out different views by talking about it and not getting angry and arguing and yelling. So very positive experience. I'm very glad that I did this workshop or this dialogue, and I'm glad it's part of the Library 100. All right, that's it, and we'll see you later.